Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you guys came over today to see another brand new video. So today is Tuesday. It is one of those weeks where it feels like it's dragging by, but then I feel like tomorrow it's just gonna fly by. So it's just how it is. And tonight I just wanted to really quick come to y'all and tell you how God is working in my life and how he is changing my life. If it's your first time here, I wanted to welcome you guys. My channel is all about documenting what God is doing in my life on a daily basis. I felt like I go through life and I can pick out how I'm different by these like major events or things that have happened over years and long timelines, but I can't really on the day-to-day know when the changes occurred. And I thought that we are living a whole 24 hours in this time, and there must be a purpose in it, right? And so there has to be a purpose in the fact that God is changing us in those 24 hours, even slightly. And I really wanted to document just these slight little changes. So on this Tuesday, we kind of had this lazy day. Like we had homeschool and things like that. My husband was home from work and I just kind of hung out with my guys basically. And at a certain point though, I was having a little bit of a hard day and I realized that it was just the fact that like there was too much chatter in my head. I guess that's the way to put it. I felt like I just needed some like downtime, and I'm a little bit more of an extroverted person, but sometimes I think my introverted personality comes out. And today was one of those days. I just felt like I needed to like take a bath. I needed everything to be quiet. It just felt like between homeschool and watching just videos and having conversations that like my head was so loud that it wouldn't stop. And I felt like I couldn't control it, that there was just like noise in my head and I just needed everything to be quiet. So I told my husband that I was gonna go take a bath, and that's how I usually escape that. And if I'm really, really cold, so, which I'm wearing a sweater, so, you know, like I was cold too. And honestly, guys, like it helped a whole bunch. But as soon as everything got quiet, I just wanted to feel my head again. So, the craziness of what we get used to and like the chatter that we get used to. Well, for me, I have a hard time just relaxing in general. And I thought, well, like I'm gonna sit in the bath. I can't just sit there and not do anything. But I knew I didn't want to like watch a video or anything like that. So I grabbed this book that I was reading and I started and I read it while I was in the bath. And I know before we all had iPhones and whatnot, this is what people did. In the book, it was about doing like church and life and community differently. That we're kind of like not doing it the way we should. And this great example came that I thought was wonderful. It was an example using skates. So let me tell you the story about skates. It was so good. So this guy says that, so this story was about skates. I know, crazy, but stay with me. It was so good. So in the story, the guy in the story said that he understood salvation. He understood what it was about. He got it. He was like, this is a free gift. Like you can't earn it. There's nothing you can do. And he said it was like somebody handing him a pair of skates. He attributed this to like ice skates. And he was like, all right, you need to go out and learn all these tricks and be an ice skater and learn to twirl. And if we can all note that watching figure skaters is amazing. Like watching them jump and land and like that's amazing. You look at it like, oh my gosh, I would fall flat on my face. This is so good, right? And you look at it almost like it's miraculous. You're like, this is great. So part of me liked this analogy. Anyway, he says that as he was going through and kind of figuring out that I guess their church wasn't doing things the way kind of the Bible explains, that it felt like somebody had handed him these ice skates, and then he had been ice skating and he thought he had been doing so good. He's like, I got this, I got this, I got this. And he looks down and he sees that he has hockey skates on. And if you know the difference between hockey skates and ice skates, hockey skates are like big and thick, and like figure skates are like small and petite, and I'm sure there's more differences that I have no idea, but I know they look different. So this idea of looking down and figuring out that you have hockey skates on and you are a part of a hockey team, and that's what you need to be doing. This is what it's all about. As I read this book, I felt like that's how my life had been going for a while. I felt like I was so involved and I got it and I understood things and I felt like people weren't understanding, and I felt like I was doing these great flips and twirls and all this stuff, and like I feel like I looked down and I saw hockey skates and I was like, where's my team? Why am I doing this by myself? It was both a sad and freeing feeling to know that we're a part of this big team. That it's not just me trying to get to heaven or me trying to live a certain way. We're part of something bigger than ourselves, and you have to acknowledge that, or you're just kind of like an ice skater skating with hockey skates, and you run into all these walls and you can't figure out why you can't do the tricks so great, and you can do some tricks wonderful and then some don't work, and it's because you're wearing the wrong skates and you have nobody there to help you. It just felt like God was looking at me and saying, hey, I got you. Like, I'm pointing it out to you for a reason. I'm pointing it out so you know how it feels, so you can do it better. So when it comes to you, people won't look back and not see my love. So you know how to love and connect with people because you've been in a situation where you felt disconnected and unloved. And I feel like he was just giving me this like aha moment. And I know that the hockey team is coming. I know that like I'm building up the hockey team, that the hockey team's coming, and that he's showing me a different way and a better way to use my skates. So today was kind of different. Today was a little bit crazy. It felt like God was just kind of like kneading the dough, I guess you could say. I felt a little wound tight. I felt a little pushed upon, but I'm really glad that I'm still documenting it for you guys and for myself. So I know how to love on other people because I know what it's like to not feel that way and to not feel the love. And I know what it's like to wear the figure skates and think you're doing a wonderful job, and then to look down and see hockey skates. And I know it's a weird analogy, but I feel like it's so good. I hope that through this crazy analogy and this crazy story, that it somehow motivated you and made a little more sense to you and let you know that it's okay, your hockey team's coming too. Thank you guys so much for coming over and hanging out with me. I will see you all in my next brand new video. And don't forget that God's always there for you, and I'm always here too.